The Ringer is back at it once again, guys. They absolutely hate the Miami Heat. The national media, it feels like they hate the Miami Heat. And obviously, the Boston media group, which the Ringer is a publication and media company that falls within that Boston media group, absolutely hates the Miami Heat. So apparently, their staff writer, Michael Pena, had a very interesting thing to say when he was on a podcast recently. And we'll get into that for today's episode. But before we do, welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat podcast. This is your one stop shop for daily Miami Heat content. I am a Sports Illustrated writer. I do cover the Miami Heat on SI as well as a few other teams. So if you guys are looking for more Miami Heat content, you can find my work there. Also, a contributor of the 5 Reasons Sports Network. So, anyway, back to the Ringer. So, the Boston media group, they absolutely hate the Miami Heat and they say ridiculous things. We've known Bill Simmons has been complaining for ages from basically anything that the Miami Heat does. And he was pissed that the Boston Celtics didn't get Giannis. They end up trading Jaylen Brown to their rivals, the 76ers, who beat them last season in the first round of the playoffs after they were up or down 3-1, excuse me. The Sixers were down 3-1 and beat the Celtics. So they imploded. They trade Jaylen Brown for Paul George, who is absolutely washed at this point in his career. He's 35 years old, always hurt. Obviously, still a solid role player now, but he's no longer a superstar. And so they lost a finals MVP and all NBA type player. And this guy, Michael Pena, ranked the Boston Celtics way ahead of the Miami Heat. And where they put the Miami Heat is hilarious. Where they even put the Sixers is hilarious. So let's take a look at this clip and see what Michael Pena had to say about the stacked Eastern Conference.
When I was looking at their lineup, and I'm like, okay, Bam and Giannis, I can kind of assume where you're going with this, off where you're thinking. The depth is the main thing for me. Even if you believe in their starting lineup, it's like, how are they going to answer these depth questions? In addition to, even if you believe in Spoelstra, one of the best basketball minds in the world, there's the questions start to stack up to the point where it's just like, he would have to be a basketball Houdini to get out of some of the constraints that he's going to have with this group. But go ahead, Mike. Tell us why you have him.
I think offensively, there's just so many questions that I have that aren't great in terms of 3-point shooting, spacing, offensive creativity. It reminds me a lot of I want to say it reminds me of the Bucks last year and just trying to, but it doesn't actually at all remind me of the Bucks last year, just in terms of how we're going to build around Giannis. And I thought how they tried, what their strategy was last year in Milwaukee made some sense to me, but it just isn't how you win basketball games in this era of the NBA and in 2025, 2026 and going forward. And what the Heat have done is I don't know what the strategy is. They got Giannis, they gave up all their depth or really key depth pieces that actually let that offense function and how they played last year, which was super fast, make or miss. We're taking the ball and we're sprinting up the court and we're making maybe 1 or 2 passes and then we're
pausing there real quick. Who gives a shit the Miami Heat was the best transition points per game team in the NBA when they were the 10th seed? Who cares about the depth when all of the Boston media and so many NBA fans, even Heat fans, were basically saying that the team was mediocre. We had no superstar. We had no all-stars on this roster. Well, I guess we had Norman Powell, but he wasn't a part of the trade. But still, people were complaining, saying that the Miami Heat, especially the Ringer, Bill Simmons, the Boston media group, said that the Miami Heat's package was trash, that the Milwaukee Bucks should not accept their trade package. And so now you're saying that the Miami Heat, they don't have depth. They got rid of players that your media group basically said stunk. So what's the big deal? We still have 3 roster spots to fill, which is also pretty comical. We have 12 guys on our roster. We have 2 more that we're going to fill no matter what. And we'll probably leave a spot open for flexibility for a buyout candidate. But so ridiculous. And also, whoever the other dude was said that, Eric Spoelstra has to pull out a Houdini. He already has taken the Miami Heat to the finals twice in the last 6 years with Keanu Reeves and the replacements. Literally, Jimmy Butler was Jimmy Falco and had nobody. He had undrafted players like Max Strus, Duncan Robinson. Caleb Martin was literally not in the NBA. J. Cole literally called the Miami Heat to sign him. Like, literally, what are we talking about? We had Cody Zeller. We had Dwayne Dedman. Like, what are you talking about? Like, unreal. You think Eric Spoelstra not having, like, now having a top 5, top 3 player in the league in Giannis is not going to figure it out? He added Tim Hardaway Jr., who's also a very good 3-point shooter. Yes, he played with Jokic last year, so of course that helped with his 3-point shooting. But Giannis is also going to help his 3-point shooting. Last year, the Milwaukee Bucks shot the highest 3-point percentage when Giannis played in those games because of his gravity. So we'll go back to the video, but this guy's a clown.
Going to the rim and seeing what happens. And like Jaime Jaquez was a huge part of that. Tyler Hero was eventually a big part of that. Norm Powell was a part of that. And so
But none of them are Giannis.
Don't like they have one movement shooter, Tim Hardaway Jr., who had the best 3-point shooting season of his career last year. You know, Nikola Jokic was his teammate. Nikola Jokic is not on this team. So I just, if he shoots 34, 35% from behind the 3-point line, the wheels could just like fall off on this offense. And then when you look at like the names.
Okay, stopping there. We also added Bobby Portis, who shot 45% from 3 last year. We also have Andrew Wiggins, who shot 41%. We also have Davion Mitchell, who shot like 40%. We have guys who could shoot the 3 ball on this team. And guess what? We have 3 roster spots left. Did you know that Klay Thompson possibly could be coming to the Miami Heat? So we haven't factored that in, but Klay Thompson is probably the 3rd best shooting 3-point shooter in the NBA history, maybe after just Steph and Ray Allen. Some might say he's even number 2. So still, this guy's ridiculous.
And the fact that there's no backup center, and the fact that I cracked this joke that got me banned from the Rights for Ricky Sanchez podcast about Simone Fontecchio.
Go ahead.
Simone.
It's like Simone Fontecchio is like on the team and he's going to be in the rotation, and he's like, they need stuff from him. I think that this,
again, probably wrong, but maybe only this year, I guess, he's going to be needed more for the 3-point shooting. But right now we have 12 guys, so he might not be in the rotation. And he shot 38% from 3 last season. So last year he was in and out of the rotation, and he fell out of the rotation towards the latter half of the year. So if we add a DeMar DeRozan, Klay Thompson, let's say those are the 2 guys, he's probably not going to be in the rotation, because we have the top 5 guys, Davion Mitchell. Then we have, let's say, Klay Thompson, if he's on the team. Then you have Andrew Wiggins. You have Bam. You have Giannis. That's 5. You have Pelle Larsson, 6. You have Bobby Portis, 7. You have Drew Smith, 8. You would have then a DeMar DeRozan, 9, or a Bradley Beal, 9, or a Russell Westbrook, 9. All those guys would be ahead of Fontecchio. He would probably be the 10th guy. You could even say Jovic could possibly be ahead of him. You could even say possibly Ryan Conwell, the rookie, will probably get more opportunity than him. Who the hell knows? We don't even have a full roster.
This is like not a disaster by any measure, but like when Pat Riley said we don't need shooting, we need another ball handler, like we need more playmaking, and trying to lure LeBron to Miami, I was thinking to myself, like, what? Like, what do you don't believe that? Like, what are you talking about? That's like so I'm not even saying that they don't need that, because they do, but they also need shooting. Like Giannis and Bam together is incongruous to the point of me putting them at the 11 seed. And I know we haven't talked about the defense yet, and I think the defense will be really good, and there's potential there, but I just think offensively, and credit to all the rest of the teams in the Eastern Conference, which I think a lot of teams have leveled up or gotten healthy, and that we've talked about. So it's also a byproduct of that, but I just think they'll really struggle to score the basketball.
So silly, dude. This guy is ridiculous. Defensively, they'll be all right. Like, defensively, they're going to be one of the top 5 to 7 defensive rated teams in the NBA. Are you freaking kidding me? You're adding Giannis, who's one of the better defenders in the NBA, next to Bam Adebayo. You have Davion Mitchell. You have Andrew Wiggins. You have Pelle Larsson. You have Drew Smith. Like, we have a ton of great defenders on this team. We have a lot of size, a lot of versatility, a lot of functional size now that we didn't have in the past. We don't have a backup center. Who gives a shit? We have Bobby Portis, and we have Bam, and we have Giannis. Like, we have Fontecchio, 6'10". You think he's going to be in the rotation? Like, we have Niko Jovic, who's 6'11". Like, Spo plays positionless basketball like Steve Kerr. He plays small ball, and we don't have to play that way now theoretically, because when you have a front court of Andrew Wiggins, Bam, and Giannis, that's huge. That's obviously huge. You have Tim Hardaway Jr. now, who's the de facto starting shooting guard, until we add, because again, we have 12 people on our team. He's 6'7", and so I just think this guy's takes are ridiculous, obviously. But the biggest thing is, like, sure, I don't think he's fully wrong saying that the Miami Heat need like more shooting, more spacing, and even agreeing with Pat Riley saying, yes, we do need essentially another playmaker. But the part that's like absolutely ridiculous is his rankings. I think that's more egregious than what he was stating, saying that the Miami Heat could have some trouble, because that's evident. The Miami Heat theoretically does not have a sharpshooter like a Duncan Robinson, a Max Strus, or whoever. Klay Thompson can change everything. But still, without that, look at his rankings. New York Knicks number 1, that's fine, defending champions. Boston Celtics number 2 after they lost Jaylen Brown. I understand maybe his thinking, even though he's a homer biased guy from the Ringer. You lose Jaylen Brown, that's fine. You still have your theoretical number 1 option, your best player, Jason Tatum, who did come off a Achilles injury very quickly. It was very impressive, but then got hurt again in the playoffs and missed time and missed game 7, I believe, or 6, maybe 2 games or 1 game. Correct me if I'm wrong. But maybe their thinking is that, like, hey, now it's his turn to do what Jaylen did last year when Jason Tatum was out. Now he has Paul George, who's a former superstar, a former elite two-way wing, a veteran with him. Plus, you add in Mitchell Robinson, so obviously that's huge. You have is it Quetta, who's amazing off of the bench. You have Pritchard. You have White. You have good pieces. I'm not saying they're like gonna fall off that hard. And I'm a Boston Celtics hater, but I'm a realist. I'm not trying to make hot takes or be delusional or just say stupid shit and be clickbaity. But saying they're number 2 is insane. Saying the Sixers are 7, I think, is even kind of a little crazy to a certain degree. I mean, this team just added Jaylen Brown and LeBron James. They got is it LeBaron Philon in the draft, and he's saying they're going to be worse this season. I believe they were 6th last year, so he's saying they're going to fall back a spot. Doesn't make sense to me. Seeing the Magic there, possibly Pacers there, possibly makes sense. I mean, you got Halliburton. I think they might be even better, honestly. But seeing the Miami Heat at 11 after adding Giannis is just egregious and so stupid and such a dumb take by this guy, which is evident that he's just a homer and he's just trying to like rile Heat fans like myself up. So you're saying the Miami Heat, who are the 10th seed the last 2 seasons, after adding Giannis, a superstar MVP, finals MVP, a guy who had a bad year last year, who averaged 28 and 11 in a bad year and 5 rebounds and 2 steals and 1 block or whatever it was, shot 65% from the field, and we're going to be the 11th seed. He didn't say they're going to be the 11th seed because Giannis can get hurt or Bam can get hurt. Yeah, like, no shit, Sherlock. If the Miami Heat have injuries, of course they're going to be in trouble. Look what happened to the Pacers last year. They were the worst team in the East because they lost their best player. Like, if we lose our best player for the whole season or half the season or whatever it may be, then obviously. But he's just saying after the Heat got Giannis, they're going to go back to the 11th. That is blasphemy. Like, having the Hawks above them, having the Magic above them, having the Hornets above them, that's bad. I mean, Toronto, possibly, especially if they get Kawhi. Cleveland, possibly just maybe a better regular season team. I guess they still have Donovan Mitchell. Maybe James Harden is going to re-sign. Apparently, I think he is. They're just renegotiating. I still think the Miami Heat are better than Cleveland. I still think they're better than Atlanta up there. I still think they're better than Orlando. I still think they're going to be better than Indiana, honestly. So it's just ridiculous having the Miami Heat at 11. I think this guy was just doing it for clicks, possibly. I don't freaking know. But yeah, just unreal, dude. Like, it just feels like everybody hates the Miami Heat for some reason. All the media always trashes the Miami Heat. We're not even a fully complete team. We still have 3 roster spots. We could still add DeMar. We could still add Klay. We still have guys that we could replace. He mentioned Jaime Jaquez Jr., Tyler Hero, Norman Powell. Like, I'll take Giannis over Norman Powell and Tyler Hero combined. I'm sorry, because those guys are not winners. So anyway, no offense to Tyler and Norm. I liked both of them, but still, they're not Giannis. Anyway, that's all we have for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel for more Miami Heat content.